Justin.
I'm Maurice, and you're listening to Category Is.
What's up, Maurice? How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Doing good this week. What's up with you?
Not much. Not much at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Not much for all of us, right? It's like
Yeah.
trapped in the house.
Trapped in the closet. No, my week was good. We had a catch up with my line brothers, my fraternity brothers from college. So we
Oh,
did that on the other day, and it was good, like to catch up with them because I think we had talked about previously how we were just so young, like when we pledged, and so we were like late teens, early 20s, and then, just to see how we like progressed and like grew and became, men, young adults, and they're all like married and like got kids. The kids are like running around in the background and stuff. So it was good to catch up with them because we really haven't caught up,
right.
as like an entire group. So that was good to like, see where everyone's life is at now and like what they've been up to and just the things that have been going on and just to it's crazy to look back like when we were such so young and like so just we were like kids back then and then now we're like grown adults.
Full grown.
Oh yeah.
Full grown.
So that was good. And then um my friend Camille, she had a Zoom birthday party for her boyfriend.
Oh,
So we did that and it was cool. It was good.
fun.
Yeah.
Nothing will compare to her Cinco parties.
Yeah, she has really good Cinco de Mayo parties and really any party, any gathering. She loves
Yeah.
to decorate and like cater and do all the decor and stuff. So yeah, it's really
Yes.
good. Yeah, good. What you been up to?
Nothing. Literally just been stuck up in this house. Finding was the coat, so working out a lot. I'm not gaining a quarantine 15. People are talking about, gaining 15 pounds from the quarantine, but that will not happen here. I'm doing the best to keep the summer body ready, even if summer don't come.
Mhm.
Um, I'm gonna have a head start for 2021.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been cooking a lot. I cook like breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. It's excessive.
That's a lot.
It is. But it brings me joy. And
It's gonna bring you 15 pounds
I've
too.
been eating very clean though.
Okay.
Very, very clean. Lots of
Okay.
salmon and chicken breast and brown rice.
No pork though.
No, I have some pork on Easter.
The
I make
pork
them.
plants are closing though. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, they said that there's gonna be there might be a shortage of ham
Oh no.
and pork products. Yeah.
Bacon?
No bacon.
The
Yeah. Yeah.
pork chop.
Smithfield closed down.
Are they the one in South Dakota?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did hear that.
Mhm.
Yes, so I am a black person that eats pork. Sorry, I'm gonna let y'all know. I ain't got no problem with it. If you do, keep it to yourself. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. Just trying to keep staying,
Hmm.
you know, it's the new normal for now.
For now, it's temporary. It'll pass.
I just like to know when. But
Well, no, I don't think we're gonna get a clear. Let me pull out my crystal ball and tell you when. But I think it's the new normal. I think that people are itching to get back to the normal that they knew before, and I just don't think that is a good idea to like just want to rush back to the way things work. I think a lot of things are gonna change
oh,
from
absolutely.
this. Yeah.
Some things
So.
will never be the same. I think this will forever change us.
Hmm.
And speaking of crystal ball, like you said, I really do want to call my psychic Madonna and just see what she has to say about this. She's led
Yeah.
me astray a few times, but at this point, I'm desperate. But I don't know. I think that this is like teaching a lot of people to like focus on the things that really matter. It stripped us of a lot, and it's kind of like I'm beginning to enjoy it.
Okay.
What?
Every
Listen,
day you sound like you at the abyss.
Not every day, just on certain days. And usually on the days I'm at the abyss, I text you like, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, which is like 3 times a week.
Okay, that's reasonable. That's not bad. That's less than
That's a
50%.
lot.
It's less than 50%.
That's a
Understand,
lot,
I'm an
girl.
Aries. This is hard for me. You are in heaven as a Cancer. You were just getting your whole entire life.
Well, yes, and yes.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because I'm at peace with, I don't have to be out, I don't have to be about, and you can just kind of just be in, do your own thing,
I can do
connect
that
with
for like
yourself.
a few days, but it's hard.
Well,
I just get my energy from being around other people and things like that, and my
mhm.
inspiration and my, you know, drive. And so it's hard. I'm a people person a little bit.
We have to adapt, and I think that's what a lot of people are struggling with.
Right.
Yeah,
And once you
but
stop fighting it, because that's half the battle, like just stop, it is what it is, accept
yeah.
it. And that's where it becomes less stressful.
Hmm.
Let's hop to the next segment of the show. It's what you're drinking wild card.
Basically,
Do you still have liquor?
yes, we have a lot,
Okay.
like
Did you
a
make a
lot,
run?
a lot. No, because when we moved into the house, everyone kept like buying us wine and giving us like bottles of alcohol. So we had a stash
Nice.
anyway. And then when the liquor stores closed, I mean, we weren't really affected because we had like everything down
Right.
there. So like the wine fridge is stocked. We have like shelves and like cabinets full of alcohol.
Okay, cabinets.
Yeah.
So what are you drinking tonight?
Tonight, I'm actually drinking a Not Your Father's root beer, which is like
Cute.
it's like the spiked root beer. It has like 6% alcohol, so like a little bit more than a regular beer, but it tastes just like a root beer, and I love root beer. Growing up, like A&W, Barks,
Oh,
root beer, and so if you don't have this, because they stopped making them for like I want to say like 3 years, but they I think they were like changing the label and they were changing like some other stuff, but but it's really good, and it's like one of those drinks that like creeps up on you,
right.
but
Like the
but it's
White
good.
Claws.
Okay, white. Okay, Karen.
When I want to get white girl wasted.
Yeah,
I do enjoy a
it's
good White Claw though.
I've never had them and I never will try them.
Oh wow. Oh,
Yeah, I'm good on that. But yeah, it's good. Like so if you can't find these, then you can just put like vanilla vodka in a regular root beer.
right.
Yeah, and it's really good.
Oh,
Yeah.
fun.
What do you got?
This week I'm having champagne, but I just added my favorite liqueur to it. It's just some Saint Germain.
Okay.
Um, this is good in any drink. It's just my favorite. Everyone knows I always have a bottle on hand. I could literally just drink it straight up.
Yeah, don't do that.
But this was some champagne in my bubbles. Is lovely. I felt the need to be festive tonight and celebrate. Celebrate what? I don't know. But damn it, Monday's over.
There you go. So it's gonna be a different kind of show for us tonight. There's nothing really popping off in the news, in the pop culture. Um, like nothing going on in the world. So we're basically gonna do a show that we've done in the past, a segment we've done in the past, I should say, and we're just gonna ask each other random questions.
Okay.
Justin's questions usually are they have a theme,
This time
usually.
they don't.
Oh, thank God. Thank God, because they'd be a mess. But so we haven't seen each other's questions. We don't know what the other person's gonna ask, and we're just gonna give like extemporaneous answers.
Yes. Who's going first?
I don't know. We should have had a coin to like flip or something.
Want to rock, paper, scissor it?
Okay.
Okay.
Now, do you go on? How do you do rock paper scissors?
Rock, paper, scissors, then shoot. So
Okay.
3 hits.
Okay. You
Ready?
ready?
Go. Paper, scissors, Shoot.
What is that?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You go first.
So I go first? Okay.
Yes. Oh.
So my first question is, what food item evokes your fondest childhood memory?
Okay. Food item.
Hmm.
It's actually gonna be a candy.
Okay,
Does that count?
that's fine.
Okay. My grandmother used to keep, like, I think most people's grandmothers used to keep candy in their house, but she used to have little butterscotches.
Ew.
Oh, I love butterscotch. You don't love butterscotch?
In like the yellow,
It was
like
like hers
wrapper.
was clear. I don't know if they were cheap because she didn't have a fancy one. But she used to have this candy dish with
Uh-huh.
all butterscotches. And when I would go
Mm.
in her house, I would like grab a whole bunch of the butterscotch and just eat it. It used to get stuck to the roof of my like mouth and my teeth.
Hmm.
I'm sure I got countless cavities from them.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, me and my grandmother have a really close, tight relationship.
Hmm.
It just reminds me so much of just being a kid, getting what I wanted. Like, no matter what, my mom would always like, he can't have any more. My grandmother would always stick me some.
Yeah, that's what
It was just,
grandparents are.
it was just one of those
Yeah.
fond memories. She seemed to always just have those butterscotch candies, no matter what.
Like
And I
no
feel like it was just,
peppermints.
no, she wasn't a peppermint girl. She wasn't the grandmother that had the strawberry
Strawberries.
candy.
Yeah.
Those was nasty.
Those are good.
But the strawberries?
Yeah, the strawberry ones are good with the like the filling on the
No.
inside. Well,
Our thing was butterscotch.
okay.
And I do believe that led me on to like butterscotch crimpets.
Ooh,
If you
yeah.
don't know what a crimpet is, it is a Philadelphia delicacy. It's a
Mm.
confectionery dessert. It's the best thing ever.
There are. I've never actually had one, but they are kind of
What?
nasty.
You never, wait, time out.
Uh-huh.
You never had a tasty cake,
Mm-mm.
butterscotch crimpet,
No, I've never had one.
but you said they're nasty.
They look nasty.
Oh, no, they're delicious. You should actually have them.
No thanks. Because we grew up on Debbie cakes down south, like little Debbie's, and so like zebra cakes, the little fudge rounds, the oatmeal pies. Those are good. But when I got up here, you can't find little Debbie like anywhere.
Because Little
And
Debbie's
then
ass. It's all about tasty cake, baby.
not up here, but like the one tasty cake I did have, I forget what it was, but I just couldn't eat it. It wasn't good to me.
They're so tasty.
Ooh, no thanks.
Hmm.
No thanks. I think so. My food item that evokes the fondest childhood memory is like, so my dad used to love this syrup. It's called Cane Patch syrup, and it used to come in like a metal like can, like about this big, about this round, and it was like one of those southern things that he just loved. And so I remember when we used to live in Nebraska, my grandma would like ship it to him, and
Oh,
we would have it like it's like this really thick, kind of like almost molassesy kind of like flavor, but it's so good. You could put it on like pancakes, waffles, biscuits, like anything. It's like so good.
lovely.
Yeah.
It's funny when you were talking about that, like he would send it to you. A close second for me would be funnel cake. So I grew up in like the Atlantic City, New Jersey area,
Hmm.
and summertime to me just meant funnel cake.
Okay.
And it just reminded me of the beach, summertime. That's a close second because I love summer.
Hmm.
But like it would not be a proper beach day unless like every time we were leaving the beach, we'd go get a funnel cake. So much so that my
Okay.
mom ordered the funnel cake mix. And I remember being a kid and we put the oil in the pan at home
Yeah. Yeah.
and make the funnel cake and put the powdered
And
sugar
like,
on top.
yeah.
It'd be like December, we'd be in there making funnel cakes.
Oh wow. What flavor do you put on top? What filling?
Oh, just no filling, no
No
flavor, no
filling?
strawberries, no chocolate,
Oh,
no
I need cherry.
powdered sugar.
No, I need some cherry on mine.
Nah, plain. Nah,
Mm,
that's an unadulterated funnel cake, plain.
mm.
All right.
Okay.
So my question for you is, if you could have any other career, what would it be?
Um, I want to be a travel blogger.
Like on Instagram?
Yeah, on YouTube. even Instagram. But I think,
Well, honey, they're unemployed right now.
yeah, that's true. So I would probably like. It looks amazing. 'Cause I think I was telling you about that show that we started watching,
Yeah.
Orel Ireshka, which means heads or tails, and that's when they flip the coin.
Uh-huh.
But they get to go to like all these amazing places. And I know it seems amazing when you watch it and it's edited to make it look, so fancy, but just because I love to travel and I think that being able to do that would be cool. You get to see like so much and like get exposed to so much. And I think that really appeals to me. So I think I would do that.
Awesome. But don't you worry that like when you make something that you love to do or something that's your hobby,
Right.
your
Yeah.
profession, that like you would resent it?
Probably not.
But
That is
travel's like one of those things that's so beyond cool.
yeah, like it is a concern because you're like, okay, like when it becomes your job, and it's like, okay, I gotta go here, I gotta go there, I gotta do this. And I know there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that they have to do, but I don't know, I think it'd still be cool.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're like a proper one, not like the broke Instagram ones where
Yeah.
they're sleeping like 5 to a room at 3.
But some of them some of them make money. Like I watch Nate and Kara.
I don't know that.
They're like this straight couple that lives in Tennessee and they like
Hmm.
travel. It's like 100 countries. It's pretty cool. But
Hmm.
I think that if I could have any other profession, I would be like an executive chef and I would have my own restaurants. Be a
Okay.
restaurant, like actually be the chef though, not a restaurateur, but the chef. But for me, like growing up in South Jersey, like the extent of restaurants that I knew as a kid was like TGI Fridays, Chili's,
Applebee's.
Applebee's. They just had a line cook. I didn't know that that was like an actual job where you could make a lot of money. But I think that for me, talking even earlier, like I've been
Hmm.
cooking 3 times a day. I know for a lot of people that's just stressful and it sounds crazy, but it's like I love it because I can kind of just zen and focus out the rest of the world and focus on the one thing I'm doing. And
Hmm.
it just makes me happy to like plate food and see other people make my food and share my love with them. Um, it wasn't until I went to college in Philly and I kind of got exposed to all these different cultures, all these different
Hmm.
restaurants, different styles of dining. And it's not that like I'm elitist because I'll eat food from a truck or a cart and I'll, eat at the best restaurants in the city. But
Hmm.
I just love and have such a passion for food. I just growing up didn't know that that was a viable career option. So I know that if I had to do it all over again, it would definitely be my
Hmm.
career. Or I would actually do like join it with yours and do like some Anthony Bourdain type shit. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. Do something like that
Yeah.
without the drugs because he was.
Oh, he was on drugs?
Oops, my bad.
Ooh. I just thought he was sad.
Huh?
I thought he was sad because he was traveling all the time.
Nah,
Oh, okay.
um,
I'll have to get into his Wikipedia page later.
yeah. So my next question is, which one should I ask next? What song best describes your current romantic situation?
Oh my God. Woo! I'm having a hard time thinking of songs. I feel so on the spot. So,
What comes to your mind?
what?
The first thing that comes to your mind.
It's gonna sound so crazy. Okay, but I'm gonna say it. It's My All by Mariah Carey, which
Hmm.
is my favorite Mariah Carey ballad. And at this point, it's like, you're talking to someone, you met them. Like I said, I met someone like, in the beginning of March, and we've been talking. And it's like, there's only so much text messaging and FaceTiming one can do. And it's like, I really do want to go see him. And I feel like, but I'm not trying to catch the Rona. But at this
Right.
point, it's like, I feel like I'd give my all. I'd risk my life to have
Uh,
one night with you. I feel like I just want to travel out here, potentially catch the Rona, just to, have one more night.
somebody you just met? Oh.
I don't know, because I really like this person. And I think if the Rona wasn't happening, it'd be going great. So right now, just to say, And I'm a hopeless romantic. Stop laughing at me.
I'm sorry.
But I feel like I would give my all.
For somebody you just met.
I mean, we met like 6 weeks ago. You know how I am. You know I fall in love like that.
Okay, girl. It's your song.
And also, I couldn't think of anything else.
Okay.
Maybe like Separated. No, I can't think of a song right now. My head's blank.
Okay, that's fine. That's a good choice because it's very appropriate, but a little much at the same time.
When am I never not much?
That's true. Mine is like another Mariah Carey song. It's called "To Be Around You," and it's from one of her earlier CDs.
Okay.
And it's got like this '90s beat. But it was this line in the song where we had this thing where we kind of talked about, my Alexa keeps going off, sorry, but it's like talking about like the smile, like every time you smile captivates my mind and sends me to the sky. And we have this thing where like every time it's like, if we haven't seen each other, because he works, he's on call sometimes, so he's away or like traveling, different things. And so it's like whenever you see like their smile for the first time that day, or since the last time you saw it, it's good.
That's so sweet. I love that.
Yeah, that's our thing.
Can you think of a better Mariah Carey song to explain my situation?
No, I think
it's still very new. It's still very new. I do want to be clear.
I think that's a good one.
You can't have it. You want it even more.
Exactly. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one.
All right. So my question to you is, someone else that you love and stan, if you could have any patronage, like Meghan Markle.
Okay.
Used to have, I guess.
No, she still has the phone.
Oh, she still has them?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
If you could have any patronage, what would it be and why?
So a patronage is like a charitable organization that they, the royal family, they usually, when they become their patron, it's like they support it. They become like the face of that organization, and it gives them like so much more exposure and gives the organization so much more exposure and like donations, and can really take them to a different level of status. And so Meghan's patronages are like a university, because she's really about education, especially for women and young girls. Mayhew, which is like an animal rescue society. And I forget the other ones, but mine would probably be, there's
like a Just for Success one.
Yeah, SmartWorks, which is the one where it's about helping women who have been out of work get back to the workforce. And so they're like providing clothes for them to go on interviews. And the fourth one is the Royal Theater, because she's an actress.
Right.
Yeah. So they came back. So mine would be, there's an organization called Linda Paw, which is an organization I didn't know about until I needed them. And so when a few years ago, my dog got attacked by a pit bull, and he needed to have like massive amounts of surgery. And so when you're at the like the vet emergency, and they come out and they talk to you, whatever, and then they're like, and it's gonna cost this much, after they run down like the list of things that are wrong and what Stanley needed, and like surgery and all this stuff. Right. And you're like sitting in the waiting room, and you're like, what? How much? And it's super expensive. And so I was like, well, what can y'all do for what I got in my bank account? And she was like, well, I wouldn't recommend, he needs all of this stuff on the list. And I was like, well, girl, I ain't got that. So right. What other options we got? And she was like, okay, well, I'll be right back. And so some time passes, she comes back and she goes, we're gonna cover all the cost of the surgeries for you. I was like, what? Okay. And she's like, there's an organization called Linda Paw, and they help people out in situations like this. And they raise money, they have these events, and it's whenever there's like an emergent situation and like the animal probably won't make it if they don't get all these services. So they helped me out in a really big way, and they picked Stanley up real good. And he is, he's good. He's back to normal. He's old man now. This is a long time ago. Like,
yeah, it was a while. I remember that happened. I was so like, oh.
Yeah, he was in really, really bad shape. And he had that cast. Remember the cast?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it was really.
Little baby. He's a survivor, though.
He is. Because he had like broken ribs, punctured lung, like his leg was like completely broken in several places, and it was like a mess. But so yeah, mine would be Linda Paw, because they really help out, and people love their pets. They're part of the family, and if they weren't there in that situation, then Stanley wouldn't be here. So that would be mine. I would give back to them.
Cool.
So when I go on Celebrity Jeopardy and they say, what is your organization that you're raising money for? That's going to be my organization.
Okay. You got to become a celebrity first.
I'm getting there.
Okay, yes.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
What about you?
I think that my patronage, I don't know which way I'm saying that.
Patronage is the American.
Huh?
Patronage is the American way.
Okay.
Patronage is the British way.
Okay. So the patronage that I would have is an organization called ABC Food Tours.
Okay.
Right now they're based out of New York City, and what they do is they expose kids to new experiences and teach them about food. So I think that, again, going to my earlier answer to my own question to you, as someone who became a food lover later in life, I think that it's nice for young kids, inner city kids, to have access to, being fed through this school program, also being educated. And these, it takes school-age children to different restaurants throughout the city. Okay. It exposes them culturally to different foods. And I think that's a really interesting way to travel. I know for me, at a point when I was in college, I couldn't afford to travel the way I wanted. So I traveled through food. I feel like that's how
Taco Bell, then the KFC.
You would never know me to eat out on Taco Bell. Now KFC, I will do a $5 fill-up box. You never see me eat out of there Taco Bell. But
run for the border, bitch.
I mean, but you can experience culture in other countries through food.
Yeah,
definitely. And this organization in particular takes kids to fine dining. It teaches them about the food industry. It teaches them how to cook. It teaches them about how food is grown. I think that that's really, really important, because especially in our society, we've gotten further removed from our food and learning about how it's grown, how it's cultivated, how to cook it, learning cooking techniques, and exposure to different kinds of food. And I think that exposure at a really early age can open you up to a whole new world. I think that if I was a kid who had the opportunity to participate in a program like this, I would have had a totally different career path.
Okay.
So I think that it's a really cool organization, and it's an organization that I've donated to, and would encourage others to. And I think that if I was at the level to have a patronage, darling, that would be something that I would definitely support.
Okay. Sounds good. My next question: what TV show has a friend group that is most unlike your own?
Almost unlike.
Unlike.
I'm going to say Insecure.
Did you watch it?
I didn't, because I'm over it.
You didn't?
You know what? Did you watch it?
I watched it.
Okay.
I was planning to not watch it, but they put it on YouTube for free.
They did?
Yes, full episode.
Okay.
HBO. It's on HBO's YouTube channel.
Okay, I know HBO had a YouTube channel. That's like a non sequitur to me.
Right. Yeah.
But I would say Insecure, because one is just interesting to me. I feel like one, I'm a Black millennial. I feel like I should identify with this group, but I
Hmm.
personally more identify with the women of Sex and the City. So, like, I identify with
Okay.
50-year-old white women who were living in the early or late 90s, early 2000s, more so
Hmm.
than I identify with Black women my age who are living in Los Angeles
Living in the now.
in the now, right? That's
Right.
crazy.
Uh,
But I just think that and maybe this is weird, but like in my friend group, in all these situations, I always view myself as the lead. Like,
Gee, I wonder why.
like, bitch, I'm gonna be the Carrie Bradshaw. I'm gonna be the Issa. I'm gonna be the Khadijah. I'm gonna be the lead friend.
But
I'm
you're
gonna be the
so
John,
not. Okay. Well, okay.
right? And I do not identify with Issa at all. And me and Issa have had like similar
Why? Both y'all
trajectories.
life a mess.
Huh?
So
You
both
said my
y'all
life was
life
a
be a
mess.
mess. Yeah.
At one point it was. But
You would probably connect with this new episode.
really?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
You,
I just feel like the show. I really didn't jive with the show too much because I feel like the show, for it to be a show that happens in the now, it really is missing
mhm.
a queer element to me.
Her
The
brother's
fact
gay.
that, like, huh?
Her brother's gay.
Yeah, but it was like that. It was too like we need a more main character that's gay, or and also how they handle in the first season the one guy being maybe like bisexual. He was just experimenting, but I also don't see
Oh yeah.
how these four women come together. Like I feel like Tiffany and who's the funny big girl?
Kelly.
Kelly, I feel like they're friends more so, and
Yeah,
Molly
they are.
are friends.
They are correct.
But I don't see how the four women have a friendship together.
But on Sex and the City, you keep saying that Miranda and
Carrie
Carrie
was
are
best friend,
friends, but the other two aren't really
friends at
integrated.
all,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's how I think my friendships are and can be. But I feel
Okay.
like they, to me, the difference with Sex and the City is that they work as a foursome. These four women don't work as a foursome to me. I don't get the friendship dynamic. I don't get how they're all together. I don't really see how they're there for one another. I totally get Issa and Molly, but I'm talking about the friend group being the four women. I
Hmm.
don't personally, it doesn't resonate with me and my friends. Um, it doesn't seem like there's that much of a give and take. It doesn't seem like they kind of do support one another as much. And I just feel like that's the least like my friend group. Because I mean, at this point, they're hitting on tropes. This has been done since Golden Girls, Living Single, Girlfriends, over and over and over.
Hmm.
But again, I get the four women and Girlfriends and how they work. I just don't see the four women never work together for me for Insecure.
Well, I think even on like you said, yeah, it's been done before because and they all kind of have like the same roles. Um, one's the career driven, one's the hoe, one's the like spaced out
Right.
kind of aloof one.
Even if,
One's the mom, or one's like the more maternal figure. Um, but I but there's a success in that, and it works because we're getting the same iterations of the same group. Even on Noah's Ark was pretty much the same, and that was
absolutely, it was absolutely the same. I think that these tropes work. I will
uh-huh,
also say with this caveat that maybe I'm being more critical of Insecure because it is happening in the now, and
right.
there's just certain senses of nostalgia that I place on
Hmm.
these other shows. So
Right.
I'm also cognizant of that fact as well.
Okay. Okay. The
But
episode was cute.
I don't
Huh?
feel the same way about the Insecure girls as I do about my Living Single ladies.
We'll give it a few years, and maybe you might feel it
Maybe.
differently. The
But
episode was
I
cute.
also lost respect for Issa when she fucked that man on that Ferris wheel.
Well, don't act like you ain't done nothing similar. But the episode was cute. It starts off with like, are you gonna watch it?
I'll watch it.
Okay.
If you say I should watch it, I'll watch it.
Okay. Then we'll talk about it next week. But it starts off in a little confusing way, but because it's like a cold open and you don't really know where it left off
Uh-huh.
or where it's starting from, I should say.
Okay.
And then there's like a time jump. So then the time jump is gonna explain how they got there.
Got you.
Yeah, yeah.
How about you? What say you?
Well, so I don't have like friend groups. Like I, you know, like my friendships are all individual, and so I never hang out in with my friends in like a group unless it's like, you know, those parties I would have once, twice a year maybe. I'd
Mhm.
have one in the spring and one in the fall, and that's usually the only time like all
Right.
the friends would be together. So it's pretty much the same. Like none of them.
Sorry, that's my dog.
Hey Lola.
Hey, Lo.
Um, but yeah, I would say all of them are unlike my friend group.
Okay.
Yeah. There are like certain personalities that could, you know, you could connect to one character here or there, but in
Mhm.
general they don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like I know the answer to your next question because you answered it in the previous question, but I want to ask
Oh,
anyway.
it did?
I want you
Okay.
to expound.
Okay.
But would you want to be famous and why? Or what would you want to be famous for, rather?
Hmm. Um, would I want to be famous? Uh, yes and no.
Okay.
So I don't know what I would want to be famous for.
Uh huh.
Um, because not like I'm an actor or, but I would, yeah, I would like to do something and be recognized for it. You know, I'm gonna be, yeah, I would say I would like to be famous or well known one day or something, whatever the case may be.
Well known and famous are different.
But with fame, yeah, well, with fame is like it just takes it to a whole nother level. And I think, um, yeah, I would like to be famous,
Okay.
but I don't know what for.
What do you think you'd be famous for?
Uh, I don't know.
Huh.
Work
I
on that.
For me, it's weird, right? Because a part of me, I hate fame. I never want to be famous, right?
Okay.
I just don't. Because to me, fame is like the negative thing. It's like
I
you
don't think so.
lose like anonymity, you lose privacy, two things that I respect a lot. Or
No, I think you can maintain your privacy
what?
without being. You can maintain your privacy,
Can
but
you?
I think so. Like you can let people in without letting them all the way in. You can, you know, have one wing of your house that you film in, and you don't let people into like the place where you live in. You know, well, I'm pretty sure like at Kim and Kanye have a whole compound in their estate, and I'm pretty sure they only filmed the show like in one room or like a set of rooms,
They
like
let
the
Vogue do
kitchen.
73 questions in their house. Did it was like was that the fake part of the house or the real house? Like
You know, they
I
have like
remember
6 houses on that property.
true. And I remember
Yeah.
back in the day when remember they used to have MTV Cribs
Hmm.
and they went to Mariah Carey's house. And I totally respect she had the whole 30-minute special.
Yeah,
She did not let them see her bedroom.
I respect that.
And I respected the hell out of that.
Hmm.
Like not everything's for everybody. There has to be something for me. But like just
Yeah.
not being able to go to a grocery store. I mean, like today you can go to a grocery store.
Well,
If you have your mask on and your sunglasses, no one can fuck you up. But
right.
it's just like, hopefully these days will end. But I would miss that. But I think I would want to be, I don't think I would ever want to set out with the goal of being famous because I think that that's misguided.
No, you have to have goals though, and I think when people
But the
set
goal
out
should be to
to,
be famous.
but if you're a rapper, if you're a singer, if you're um, anything, you know, your goal is to reach a level of fame and success.
Because that's a very public forward facing career
Hmm.
choice, right? So the
Hmm.
fame just comes with it. But I feel like you can't set out with the goal to be famous. It's like you have to set out with the goal that like I want to be the best female rapper, or I want to be the best this of all time. And with that, the fame will come. Like for me, like
No, because I think that one of the best female rappers is probably sitting on the park bench. You know, the best singer is probably working down at Applebee's. You know, it's just you have to be in the right space at the right time.
okay. When I said best, I meant like commercially best. But
Oh,
I hear
okay.
what you're saying too.
Hmm.
But for me, like if I were to become famous for anything, I think it would be like You know, I have the gift of gab and I have a mouth. I would either be like famous. Ooh, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me.
What that mouth do?
What that mouth do? But I feel like I would either be famous for something more traditional, with like studying, like being a lawyer in some big Supreme Court law case.
Okay.
I don't even see that for myself. I feel like I would more likely become famous for like being like a CNN, pundit or contributor, a la Angela Rye or something, and just
Although,
being extra black and extra gay on the CNN.
well, okay. I was gonna say Don Lemon does that, but he's not that black.
And he's not that.
He's
Yeah.
yeah. But the thing, like with the whole everything that's going on now, and like Sanjay Gupta is on CNN all the damn time.
Right.
It's like, girl, like what else do you do? Because Obama nominated him to be Surgeon General, and he turned it down because he was like, he can make so much more money if he stayed on CNN.
He wanted them coins. Mm-hmm. You see the Surgeon General now? I can't take him seriously. He's kind of cute, but he got such a lift.
That lift? Yeah, Jerome from Indiana.
I thought it was Gerard.
No, it's Jerome, I think.
It's Jerome, okay.
And he's from Indiana. He's one of Mike Pence's boys, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't even trust him.
No.
He was like your grandpappy and granddaddy.
And abuela.
Abuela.
Do it for your abuela. Girl, I guess.
All right, what's your next question, is?
Oh, so this is my last question.
Okay.
What movie taught you your most important life lesson?
Damn, movie?
Mm-hmm. Not a porno.
Stop. Movie. Oh my God. I'm not really good with movie names. I'm trying to think of what movie. You want just the first movie that comes to mind?
No, like your actual.
Because I have like so many of my favorite movies. Like Moonlight is one of my favorite movies of all time.
But Moonlight came out a few years ago. You learned all your life lessons from that?
Well, no, I mean, and I couldn't even really honestly relate to Moonlight because I didn't grow up with like a crackhead mama and stuff in Miami.
Right.
But that's why I'm trying to find like taught me my most important life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I want to say Enough by Jennifer Lopez. I've also never been like a battered housewife.
I was about to say.
Oh, this is a hard one. I could say Philadelphia.
Okay.
But again, I've never been like I don't know. This is hard because I honestly don't really see myself in many movies. To me, when I watch a movie, it's just totally like I don't connect with it as much. Oh, this is hard, Maurice. I don't know. I don't have a really good answer for you, to be honest.
You want to think about it and come back?
I can try, but
okay.
I'm trying to think of like movies that I've watched. So there is one movie that hasn't really impacted my life, but it impacted my future and the way I think about my life.
Okay.
But I can't even really tell you the name of it because it wasn't a famous movie. I think it was like straight to DVD. And it starred some white guy and it had Catherine Zeta-Jones in it. Like she was the main actress.
What's it about?
And it was about this guy, and he was traveling, and she was like this chef at a restaurant. It was very like no reservations-ish, but it wasn't. And for this movie to have, it did have a big impact on me, but I need to find the title, and I will look up the title after this. But basically, he wanted to be with this woman who was older. She didn't want to be with him. And, she had been like a divorcee. She had had children. And he was younger. He was a younger guy. She was all some cougar shit. And they had a beautiful relationship, a great connection. He wanted kids and she didn't. So then they ended up breaking up. And then like 10 years later in the movie, she sees him and he has his kids. And she's like, oh, so you like, where's your wife? Where's your girlfriend? He's like, no, I'm a single dad. I decided to adopt and have children on my own. And I know it sounds crazy, but I watched that movie, and for me as a gay man, I've always wanted children. But I felt like, well, when am I going to meet a husband, and when I want to meet someone to have children and do that with? But what that movie kind of did for me, and I really wish I knew the name because I feel like I'm not even doing it justice. But what that movie did for me at that time was let me know that it was okay for me to be a single dad, to go out and to make what I wanted to happen and not hinge that or connect that to having a partner. Because that's temporary. People can come and go. But if that's something that you want to do and that's something that you feel really called to do, and you have that love and that space to give, that you should do it. And I remember after watching that movie, I was like, you know what? I can be a single dad on my own if I want to. Why? I don't need to wait for a partner. I don't have to do it that way. So I remember that was a movie that did have a big impact on me. I wish I could remember that. I'm gonna go on her IMDb. It was like a low level movie. I don't even know where I watched that. What's your answer?
So I get a lot of flack for saying that my favorite movie is Gone with the Wind, because all the slave stuff and the Civil War and like all of that. But at the heart of the story is basically it's about survival and really empowering yourself to be the master of your own fate, basically, which is kind of, I guess, what you're saying your movie's about too. But it's like taking matters into your own hands and not really being defeated by the circumstances that life throws at you. And it's really about just perseverance and really having that internal drive to make things happen. So it's like no matter what happens, after all, tomorrow will be another day.
Right.
So.
And I did look up the name of my movie. It was never nominated for an Oscar. I don't even think it won an award.
Won't be nothing.
It has like a 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. But it's called The Rebound. It came out in 2009. I think I probably watched it in like 2011 or something, like on Netflix. I remember watching it on my couch on Netflix. So.
Okay.
I don't think it was Netflix. Honestly, I think it was Redbox.
Oh, wow.
Remember Redbox?
Yeah. Return it to the grocery store.
Yep. 7-Eleven. Yeah, it was actually on Redbox. So again, just a silly movie, but it was profound for me.
Okay. So the lesson you learned from that was?
Like, you don't connect your deepest desires and dreams to someone else. Like, if you want to do that, you do that for you. And you don't like say, well, I have to be with someone to make that happen.
Okay.
Because for me, I really thought that I would never be a dad until I found a partner to do that with. And it kind of suggested to me that it was okay for me to do that, which is also really interesting to me because I grew up with a single mom, but I still was working within that framework of you need a partner to do it with.
Okay.
So for me, it was important. And I remember that movie stuck with me after that.
Okay.
What? Okay. My final question is, when is the last time you cried in front of someone? And when's the last time you cried alone? And if you feel comfortable sharing, I'm not saying you should or have to, but if you feel comfortable sharing like what you cried about, that'd be fine too, but you don't have to.
Honestly, I don't remember because I don't cry. I'm not a crier. Yeah, that's a good question. I can't remember because I'm not a crier.
Was it more than 5 years?
Yes, it was definitely more than 5 years.
That you cried in front of someone or cried period?
Both.
You never like a good cry in the shower sometimes, like a good cry in the closet?
No, I don't do that.
You never cried at like in the bathroom stall at work?
Definitely not.
Okay. I cry at least once a week. So
Yeah.
this is shocking to me.
I I cried at my dad's funeral, but that was like a long time ago. That was like 15 years, 16 years ago. Um,
Do you just not like crying or you just don't?
I just don't. I just don't cry. Like, and it's not about like not having the emotion because I have the emotions. Like, but I just don't. I don't know. I just don't cry.
That's fine. I mean, that's a valid answer.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
that. Like sometimes, like I mean, as someone who cries a lot,
Hmm.
I mean, I cried last week. Um, as someone who cries a lot, sometimes I feel like I want to cry, but like there hasn't been an incident that has caused me to cry. It's not like I'll seek something out, but sometimes I feel like I need a good cry. Like about 2 weeks ago with this whole situation, it was getting to me, and I just needed to cry. And after I cried, I fell asleep. But then when I woke up, I cried. I literally cried myself to sleep.
Uh-huh.
But when I woke up, I felt better. Like sometimes when I cry, when I'm done crying, I feel like okay, I washed everything away. I'm cleansed.
But to me, crying doesn't change anything.
It doesn't.
And it doesn't,
I don't think the purpose of crying is to change anything.
but like you said, oh, I cried, now I feel so much better. Nah, bitch, the same stuff still happened. I mean, you still gonna be, in the situation. It's not gonna get, there's no product that directly relates to crying to
Well, I
me.
think that there's not supposed to be productivity in it. I think that sometimes we keep things bottled up, we keep things inside,
Mm-mm.
we don't really let it out um, physically. There's no physical manifestation of our anxiety, of our depression, of our fear, of our anger. Excuse me, not Rona. But sometimes crying lets that out, and it doesn't change the situation, but it feels better about how you're internalizing the effects from the situation. That's all. Because you house those emotions within your physical body. And what crying does is let that out. For me.
For you. Okay.
I mean, everyone's different.
Yeah, definitely. And
I'm sure you've seen me cry countless
numerous times.
times.
Numerous times. But yeah, I mean, it's just like, huh?
Like, you think I'm a weak bitch.
No, not even that. It's just for me, I always think, okay, what, you know, what is it gonna solve? And for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's not gonna solve anything. It's not gonna make anything go away. It's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna do anything for me.
Right. But the thing I will
So,
say about knowing you is that you're a really emotionally intelligent person. So I
mhm.
don't think that like you don't process or handle your emotions.
Right. That's
I
what I
think
was.
that you handle them differently, and
Mhm.
it doesn't require the need of crying for you.
Right. Yeah.
But I need to physically do something with my emotions. Like sometimes if I'm feeling angry and I go work out at that gym, I feel much better afterwards.
Okay.
Like once I went to a kickboxing class and I was just kicking someone's face that I imagined and punching it, and I
Oh,
felt
wow.
better.
Hmm.
Don't they have classes where like you can like go like break things and hit things?
Yeah. So they used to have they Kendall and I believe Courtney went to it on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But it's a
Really?
room and it's like full of stuff. They give you like crowbars, hammers, bats, and you can just go in and just fuck the room all the way up.
And people
And
feel better afterwards.
but you have to pay like $100 for that. I'm gonna feel worse. You know what I could do with that $100? Fuck that.
Right, right. I feel you. But I think it is important sometimes to take the emotion and do something with it physically. Just crying back to me. But I thought it'd be
Okay.
an interesting question to ask you because as your friend, someone who knows you, I don't think I've ever seen you. I think I saw you cry one time. And it wasn't even like a full cry. You was like the back. It was like you got teary eye and the tear was like,
Like right there, and then it went back.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one commercial though, and I forget what it's for, and I haven't seen it in a long time. But like that commercial is like, and I'm like almost right there, and it's just a stupid commercial. I can't
Right.
remember what it's for, but it's like that commercial gets me.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is fun. I think it was a good way for our listeners to get to know us a little bit. It was random. We mixed it up.
And your questions were not that horrible this time.
They weren't? Okay, good.
Because usually,
Ooh.
yeah.
My questions usually like make no sense. And you have to like string them together and really need like a 10-minute explanation. But I did better this time. I'm proud.
You did. I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us for another week of Category Is.
Be sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube video. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see.
All right. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Category Is.
Be sure to like, rate, and review the show wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on all things social media at Category Is Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And you can contact us at categoryispod@gmail.com.
Check us out on the web at categoryispod.com.